Tonight's global brief: clear, concise, and ahead of the curve. From markets to climate and tech, we scan reliable sources so you don't have to. Your world, briefing ready.
Hello and welcome to World News. I'm Eve, your anchor in our global newsroom. In the next minutes, we'll bring you verified headlines from geopolitics, business, and technology, with clear context and concise takeaways. You'll learn what happened, why it matters, and what to watch next, without noise or speculation. Stay with us as we start at the desk with today's top stories, then zoom in on the trends shaping tomorrow. Let's begin.
Okay, so a major story is unfolding in Washington right now, and its effects are being felt all across the country. We are, of course, talking about the U.S. government shutdown. You know, it's a term we hear thrown around a lot in the news. But what does it actually mean in the real world, when the federal government basically just closes its doors? And this isn't some hypothetical question. This is happening right now. On October 1st, that's exactly what happened. A huge portion of the U.S. government was forced to stop its operations simply because the funding dried up. So how in the world did we get here? Well, to really get a grip on what's going on, we have to start with the basics. What exactly is a government shutdown? Okay, so here it is in the simplest terms. The government's legal permission to spend money, well, it expired. Lawmakers in Congress just couldn't agree on a new budget or even a temporary spending bill. And when that happens, a lot of federal agencies legally can't operate anymore. And while this feels like this huge, unprecedented crisis, it's actually not the first time this has happened, not by a long shot. This is the 15th time the U.S. government has shut down in just over 4 decades. It's almost become this recurring, dysfunctional feature of American politics. But, that doesn't make the consequences any less serious. So what's holding everything up this time? It really all comes down to a major disagreement over one single funding bill. And here's the heart of the conflict. You've got Senate Democrats on one side, and they block the funding bill because they're demanding that it includes an extension of healthcare benefits. On the other side, you have Republicans who are saying, look, that healthcare issue is important, but it needs to be debated and passed as its own separate thing. So you might be asking, wait, why can't the party with the majority just pass the bill? Well, this is where the quirky rules of the Senate come into play. It's not a simple majority. To get past a filibuster, which is basically a tactic to block a vote, you need a supermajority of 60 votes. That means Republicans need to persuade at least 7 Democrats to cross the aisle and vote with them. And so far, that just hasn't happened. Okay, so why should you care about this political battle in Washington? Because the consequences are immediate, they are very real, and they are spreading far and wide. The most direct human cost is it's staggering. Look at this number, 750,000. That's how many federal employees have been furloughed. That means they've been sent home from their jobs without pay. For these families, that's an instant crisis, not knowing when their next paycheck is going to come. And the damage to the bigger economy? It's immense. The shutdown is estimated to be costing the country nearly $500 million, $400 million for every single day it goes on. That's lost productivity, lost economic activity that we're never going to get back. The impact also ripples out in ways you might not even think about. We're talking about delays in crucial economic reports that investors depend on, potential slowdowns at airports, really important scientific research being put on ice, and get this, even U.S. troops are having their pay withheld. All of this is, naturally, making Wall Street pretty nervous. The vice president even gave a direct warning about flying. He pointed out that while essential workers like TSA agents and air traffic controllers have to show up for work, they're doing it without being paid. And that obviously creates a ton of strain and could easily lead to delays. With the stakes this high, it's really no surprise that both parties are working overtime to control the story and, of course, point the finger at the other side for this whole mess. The message from the Democrats is pretty straightforward. As House Leader Hakeem Jeffries put it, they're framing this as Republicans basically refusing to support essential health care for working families. And the Republicans? Well, they're firing right back. Senate Leader John Thune is arguing that Democrats have supported similar bills before, and that this whole shutdown is just pure politics, driven by their opposition to the president. And here is the thing you absolutely have to remember. You cannot separate this shutdown from the looming 2026 midterm elections. Every single move, every press conference, is being calculated with an eye on who will win control of Congress. So this all leads us to the final, and let's be honest, the most important question of all. How does the standoff finally end? And when will the government get back to business? The short answer is nobody really knows for sure. In fact, a lot of analysts are warning that because the political divisions in the country are so deep right now, this shutdown could drag on for a lot longer than we've seen in the past. And that leaves us with this final, really thought-provoking quote from Professor Robert Pape. In a time when it feels like the rules of politics are being rewritten before our very eyes, it makes you wonder, are government shutdowns no longer a rare crisis, but instead just the new normal for American politics?
That's your briefing from World News. I'm Eve. Before we go, a quick recap. Key decisions in policy and markets, signals from tech and security, and the human angles behind the numbers. For more depth and verified updates, follow my channel World News Eve and enable notifications. We'll be back soon at this desk with clear facts and practical context you can use. Until then, stay informed and stay kind. Like my video, leave your comments, and help me bring news to everyone. From me to all of us, be happy.